my name is Nadia, I'm from Natural Green, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about water kefir, milk kefir and kombucha. What we have here is water kefir crystals. Now there might be some similarities between water kefir and milk kefir, but it's really not the same culture. You can see it in the form or in the shape of the culture, and also in the taste of the end product. The beverage is much different. So these grains, they actually metabolize the sugar in your water. They live in the water and they eat sugars. You can add organic brown sugar for them to eat on, or you can also add all types of fruits. They particularly love raisins, and when you add your fruits, make sure it's unsulfured or organic. It takes about 12 to 48 hours for your kefir grains to consume the sugar that's in the water. Now, the main idea is to keep your grains fed, and then if you keep them happy, in turn they will multiply and become more. So there will come a stage where you can actually share your culture with friends and family, or you can use those extra grains for experimenting. You can experiment by fermenting rooibos tea, or perhaps grape juice, or anything like that. What makes these beverages and these cultures so popular lately is because more and more people are looking for something that's natural and also beneficial. Now these cultures, they consume the sugar, and that creates beneficial acids, which is excellent for digestion, and it also creates B vitamins and probiotics. Now the probiotic part is very important. Okay, what probiotics basically do, it makes nutrients more absorbable by your digestive system. And it also helps your digestive system to absorb antioxidants. Antioxidants is important because the antioxidants is responsible for fighting free radicals. Now, where does free radicals fit into everything? Well, free radicals, if left to roam freely, they can actually cause major havoc in the body. They can cause cancer, degenerative neurodisorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It can also cause chronic fatigue syndrome, heart diseases, heart and blood vessel disorders, and inflammatory diseases. Water kefir is rich in probiotics, and it's safe. Even children can drink it. What you basically do is you add your kefir grains or kefir crystals to your sugar water. You leave it for 12 to 48 hours so it can eat and ferment the sugar, which means there's very little sugar left after the full fermentation cycle, and you can drink it to replace your sodas, your carbonated beverages. It's got the probiotics in it, and it's also beneficial in many ways. So this is now my kefir. It can replace all your drinks. You can add anything to it, and it's very tasty. What I've added to this, which makes it a little bit darker than the usual color, is pomegranate tea. This is the milk kefir grains. It's very much different from the water kefir grains. It looks like little cauliflower heads. Now these grains are quite small. They can grow to be very large in size. It's better sometimes to have the smaller type of grain, or to break your grains into smaller pieces, because this helps your milk to ferment quicker. These kefir grains live on the lactose in the milk. The lactose is the milk sugars that's present in milk, and by the end of the fermentation process there is about 1% lactose or milk sugar left in the milk, where with yogurt it's a lot more, like 4%. You can compare milk kefir with a drinkable yogurt. It might be a little bit more tart than yogurt, but it does contain a lot more probiotics. Milk kefir can contain up to 36 different strains of probiotics, and in one glass there is literally trillions of colony forming bacterial units, and that's good. It's an excellent thing. So that's your milk kefir grains. You add it to your milk. You can ferment any type of milk with it, your mammalian milk, cow's milk, ewe's milk, buffalo milk. You can ferment any camel milk, any type of milk. You can even make nut milk with kefir grains. And there is a method where you can use your kefir grains only with nut milk indefinitely. So yes, you can do that. You can ferment your coconut milk with it, and that's very, very tasty. Now with milk kefir, you can make different types of things. You can make ice cream with milk kefir. You can make kefir cheese balls with it. That's very nice. Bread, it's an excellent buttermilk alternative. There's a lot that you can do with milk kefir, really. And the thing that I like most about it is the fact that it's so rich in probiotics. This is the kombucha SCOBY. It's a colony of bacteria and yeast, and this is what's responsible for fermenting your tea. So you basically add your sweet tea and a little bit of a starter, and that will ferment your tea, adding to the probiotics, vitamin B's, and a lot of beneficial acids and bacteria. Kombucha takes a little bit longer to ferment. Kombucha is about 7 to 10 days. Some people leave it for even longer. To make your kombucha, you can use black tea, red tea, rooibos tea, green tea, oolong, white tea, any type of tea really. But you want to make it with a tea with caffeine in, because the SCOBY, the bacteria part of the SCOBY, needs the caffeine and also the acids of the tea. And then the yeast part needs the sugar. So that's why you use sugar and tea to make kombucha. It's a tasty beverage. If it over ferments, it can have a little bit of a vinegary taste to it. When it's ready, and it will have a sweet, soury taste to it. The longer you ferment it, the less sugar it will contain, so the less sweetness you will taste. Okay, kombucha SCOBYs takes on the form of the jar that you brew it in. Like here we've got another jar of kombucha. And just look at this SCOBY. Okay, holes in the SCOBY isn't a problem, because that mainly indicates that it was a fizzy brew. This is just a carbon dioxide that tried to escape, and that's why this part of the SCOBY is thinner than the rest. You will sometimes see yeast form, and that would be in the form of this brown stuff here. And it is, sometimes it will go lay straight at the bottom of the jar, but that's only spent yeast. That's also normally an indication that you should clean your jar. The SCOBY is the active part that's actually making the beverage. SCOBY is an acronym for symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. They work together, and some of it live on the tea, some of it live on the sugar. So that's the kombucha SCOBY. This is the part that you actually drink, the liquid part. Every brew will give you a kombucha SCOBY, and at the stage you're going to have too many SCOBYs to cope with, so then you can actually use it in your garden as fertilizer. I've got an ebook that gives you an idea of what to do with all your extra SCOBYs. Go ahead to my website and go and see what it's all about.